The most highly anticipated hot hatch in years, the Ford Focus ST is finally here. Or at least this one is, direct from overseas in its Euro spec trim. This is Ford's first global performance product under its new ST division. Now, they've had STs before, but this is the first time it's going to be sold all over the world. Now, ST stands for Sport Technologies, and it's essentially the love child of the European performance division that's called RS and our North American SVT. It's also the very first Ford performance product to feature the brand's EcoBoost engine technology. Now that combines direct injection with turbocharging to make a small engine feel like a much more powerful engine. And that's exactly what we've got here. This is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, but output is 252 horsepower and a very impressive 270 foot-pounds of torque. Inside, it's still recognizable as a Focus, although there are some really nice touches in here, like these Recaro racing seats. Coated in leather, they really grip the sides, and they especially grip your thighs, which is almost a bit odd. It really holds you in these seats tightly. So on top of that, you get custom aluminum pedals, you get this special ST branded steering wheel. Up on the dash, you've got a couple of different gauges, including your boost gauge and your oil pressure gauge. And of course, it comes exclusively with a 6-speed manual transmission. Behind the wheel, the Focus ST is a lot like a mesh between two of its main competitors, the Mazda Speed 3 and the Volkswagen GTI. Now, it makes power like the Mazda Speed 3, but it's much more refined, again, like the Volkswagen. Now, one of the main ways Ford achieved that balance is by integrating both the torque vectoring control system that they use even in the regular Focus with a new electric power steering system. So the result between those two is that the car actually manages to A, put the power to the ground better, and B, you just don't feel that torque steer pull. A good sign that this is a true enthusiast car is that Ford has equipped it with a 3-mode stability control system, which means, of course, there's full on, you can put it in a sport mode if you want to have a little bit more fun, and you can put it in full off, and it will not intervene at all and let you have some pretty wild fun. Also helping put power to the ground are a set of 18-inch Goodyear high-performance tires. Now, they measure 235/40/18, which is actually one step wider than what you'll find on the Mazda Speed 3. Other performance enhancements include a lowered suspension by about 10 millimeters, plus you've got larger brakes, and I have to point out the car's exhaust note, which is pretty cool, although it sounds kind of generated by a machine more than it does just the natural sound of the engine. When it comes to the design of this car, Ford is certainly putting the hot in hot hatch. For starters, there's this aggressive body kit on the car, especially with that massive front grille. Now, the car also has a nice rear spoiler on it. You've got these large 18-inch wheels, and it has this really unique center exit exhaust pipe. And of course, the signature tangerine paint job. Priced at $23,700, the Ford Focus ST is actually $300 cheaper than the Mazda Speed 3. Now, it is a little bit less powerful, but it's also a little bit lighter, so a track comparison between the two should be very interesting. What makes the Focus ST so unique, however, is its very European feel about it. Along with the sort of premium interior, it also has a real refinement, a composure on the road that you just don't get in the Mazda. And that really is the story here. If you're a fan of the Mazda Speed 3 and its rough around the edges boy racer feel, then this might not be the right car for you. But then again, if you like the Volkswagen GTI and just wish you could get one with more power, then maybe your next European hot hatch should actually be a Ford.